Okay, so we are going to measure the range of motion in your left shoulder. I have an instrument here called a goniometer. The range for your shoulder is 0 degrees to 180 degrees. If I can have you lay down with the shoulder flexion, you're going to reach all the way back as far as you can go, where you feel a slight pain. Okay, don't overdo it because we don't want you to have an injury. Okay, so if you can reach back for me as far as you can go, measure you and range of motions at 175. So I can have you do that one more time for me. Measure at the axial point, 175. So now we are going to measure the range of motion of shoulder flexion in your right shoulder. Okay. Do the same thing as your as as your left. We're going to go with the mid axial joint. I'm going to need you to stretch back as far as you can go. And 65. Okay, bring it on back down by your side, and the shoulder flexion will occur in the sagittal plane. Okay, so if I can have you reach back again in the mid axial point, and it's 175. Okay, so now I'm going to be measuring my patient's shoulder extension in the right shoulder. What my patient is going to be doing, she's going to have her arm lift up uh, as high as she can go on top of the couch. The normal range of motion should be from 0 to 60 degrees. Right. You can lift. Is that as far as you could go? Okay. Seven. So her shoulder extension measures out to 70 degrees. Okay, if I can have you please lift up your left shoulder again, one more time. The 45 45 degrees. Okay, so now I'm going to be measuring the range of motion for shoulder flexion. Shoulder flexion occurs in the sagittal plane. For shoulder flexion, my patient is going to turn her head facing away from us, and then she is also going to lift up her arm towards her head as high as she can go. The normal range of motion should be from 0 degrees to 60 degrees. Okay, I can have you please lift up your. I'm going to have the moving arm go and line up with uh, with the lateral epicondyle of the humerus, and it measures up to 50 degrees. I'm going to have my patient do it one more time. I'm going to have you lift up again, please. 70. Okay, so now I want to be measuring the range of motion in my patient's elbow. So she's going to be doing the elbow flexion. elbow flexion occurs in the sagittal plane. The normal range of motion is 0 to 150 degrees. My landmarks are going to be the, the lateral epicondyle of the humerus. That'll be my fulcrum, and then my other landmark will be the radial styloid process. If I can have you please put your arm down to your side. Okay, if I can have you please like lifting your arm towards your head. We got 130, and then we're going to do it a second time. And my landmark. Okay, if I can have you slowly lift again. One 130. Now, if I can have you please flip around. You can do your range of motion on your other side. So now we are going to be measuring the range of motion on my patient's right elbow now. I want to have the same landmarks, which are going to be the lateral epicondyle of the humerus and my radial styloid process. Okay, if I can slowly lift your arm again. $120. If I can have you do a second time. Okay, slowly. $25. So now we are going to measure the range of motion of my patient's right knee. We are going to do knee flexion. Knee flexion occurs in the sagittal plane. And the normal range of motion, it's 0 to 150 degrees. If I can have you please lift up your knee and slide your foot to your body. My landmarks are going to be the lateral epicondyle of the femur, the greater trochanter of the femur, and the lateral malleolus of the fibula. It was like he had two families. The first time I was introduced to all of their accounts, it was crazy. Molly and his brothers had lots of sons and nephews, and almost all of them were named Peter or Paul. So her knee flexion measures up to 130 degrees. So now we are going to measure my patient's right leg for knee flexion. The normal range of motion for knee flexion is 0 to 150 degrees. My landmarks are going to be the lateral epicondyle of the femur, the greater trochanter of the femur, and the lateral malleolus of the fibula. If I can have you please slowly move your foot towards your body. So her knee flexion measures up to 120 degrees. Now, we'll do it a second time. If I can have you slowly move your foot to your body again. With the dot on my fulcrum, which is my the lateral epicondyle of the femur, and again it measures out to 120 degrees. Knee. Again, the normal range of motion for knee flexion is 0 to 150 degrees. My landmarks are still going to be the same as on the other side, which are the lateral epicondyle of the femur, the greater trochanter of the femur, and the lateral malleolus of the fibula. My fulcrum will be the lateral epicondyle of the femur. If I can have you please mm, lift your foot towards your body.
I wasn't talking, I was just smiling at you.
So we have 130 for the first time.
And then walked back over here with him and took Butler for a walk, and so Butler was excited.
I can have you do it one more time, please. Slowly lift your foot towards your body.
It's taco chicken chili tonight. It was actually a weight loss. I can't hear you. I'm sorry. I bought some.
And the second time measures out to 130 degrees. Okay, so now we are going to measure the range of motion in my patient's ankle, both on her right and on her left. First off, we are going to do her right ankle. We are going to measure the range of motion in her for dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. The normal range of motion for the dorsiflexion is 20 degrees, and for plantar flexion is 50 degrees. So can I have you lift your foot in the air? And can I have you do dorsiflexion? So 70 degrees. Now can I have you do plantar flexion? $30. Can I have you do dorsiflexion again? Seven, 75 degrees, and plantar flexion again. $20. Okay, can I have you spin around so we can do spin around and do the other side? Same thing. Can I have you do dorsiflexion first? $55.
Josh, you watching the race tonight?
And can I have you do a plantar flexion, please? $30. And are we doing a dorsiflexion one more time? $90. And do a plantar flexion again. $30. Okay, so now I'm going to measure my patient's range of motion in both her right and her left hip. The normal range of motion for her hip, it's 0 to 120 degrees. Hip flexion occurs in the sagittal plane. My landmarks are going to be the the greater trochanter of the femur and the lateral midline of the pelvis. If I can have you slowly bring your leg towards your abdomen. So I have 100. I have 95 degrees for the first attempt. And have you do that again, please. Bring your leg towards your abdomen. 80 degrees for the second time.
Ian, come get your computer.
Can I have you flip around, please, and so I can do your other side?
Ian.
If I can have you please slowly lift your leg again towards your abdomen. Now 70 degrees. Can you slowly do it again for a second time? 70 degrees. Okay, so now we are going to do a hip extension in my patient's hip. The normal range of motion for hip extension is 0 to 20 degrees. My landmarks are going to be the greater trochanter of the femur, and we are also going to use the lateral midline of the pelvis. Hip extension occurs in the sagittal plane. Okay, if I can have you please lift your leg up. I have 30 degrees. Can I have you slowly do it a second time? 30 degrees. If I can have you flip around so I can do the other side, please. Okay, if I can have you slowly lift up your leg again, please. 30 degrees. And a second time. 30 degrees. Even though that my patient is slightly extended in her hip joint for hip extension, the reason why is because my patient has a history of doing dance, so she is more flexible in her hip joints. Okay, so now we are going to measure my patient's flexibility in her lower back during the V sit and reach. We have a tape measure to measure how far they can reach. We are using the edge of the carpet as our measuring line. Her feet are 8 to 12 inches apart. And if I can have you please reach as far as you could go. 2 feet 1 inches. Can I have you do it one more time? Slowly reach. Don't bounce. Okay.